It's 6 p.m. Cairo local time, and it's time for the English News Bulletin on Channel 2. This is Sahara Talawi, and starting with the main headlines of the day, ladies and gentlemen. President Sisi inaugurates several maritime stations in the Suez Canal economic zone. President Sisi announces the launch of the 5th edition of the African Union's Week for Awareness on Reconstruction and Development. And Egypt resumes sending humanitarian aid to Gaza. Welcome back to the news in full detail. President Sisi has inaugurated several maritime stations in the Suez Canal economic zone at the East Port, Said Port. During the inaugurations, President Sisi stressed that the development achieved was the result of a joint effort pointing to Egypt's distinguished geographical location and the presence of the Suez Canal as a global shipping lane. President Sisi reviewed the challenges that faced the implementation of the Suez Canal economic zone project in 2015, noting that he will and the hard work enabled the state to reach the goals. The President Sisi thanked Maersk company for fulfilling its commitments, affirming that Egypt's aspiration for the company and other investors operating in Egypt to increase their investments. President Sisi also affirmed that Egypt is now witnessing the result of achievements in the ports, railways, roads, access and energy sectors. Sisi also hailed the Egyptian people's support and resilience in facing challenges, calling for continued efforts and sacrifice to reach more accomplishments for the benefit of the current and the future generations. In the meantime, President Sisi has announced the launch of the 5th edition of the African Union's Week of Awareness on Reconstruction and Development after the dispute. The meeting, which is held under the slogan of Reconstruction, New Life after the Dispute through the compensatory justice, is due to start tomorrow on 17th of November till the 23rd of the current month. And in his presidential statement, President Sisi said that the African continent is facing various complex security developmental challenges as well as threats like the climate change repercussions, which made out the continent deeply influenced by the international surrounding circumstances. President Sisi also said that the Black continent was granted with the great resources and human wealth that cannot be neglected. He also hailed the efforts by the AU's Center for the Post-War Reconstruction and Development and the AU's Commission. In this regard, he said also that he is committed to exerting all efforts in coordination with the African and international partners to achieve the African Agenda in 2063. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Badr Abdelati, held phone calls with his Iranian counterpart, Abbas Araghchi, and the General Director of the International Atomic Energy Agency, Rafah Grossi, to follow up on the latest development in the Iranian nuclear file. This came within the framework of Egypt's ongoing efforts to reduce the escalation, enhance security and stability in the region. And the calls tackled ongoing cooperation between Iran and the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, regarding the nuclear file. Foreign Minister asserted the importance of continuing efforts to de-escalate, build trust and create the necessary conditions for continuous cooperation. The Foreign Minister also has reiterated that this will provide real opportunities for diplomatic solutions and resumptions of dialogue amid to reach the comprehensive agreement on the Iranian nuclear program that takes into account the interests of all the parties and contributes to achieve the security and regional stability. And in the meantime, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Badr Abdelati, stressed that Egypt has taken serious steps towards building the National Integrated System for the Governance of Artificial Intelligence, ADIC-2. This came during the Foreign Minister participation in the 2nd edition of the Artificial Intelligence Data Center and Cloud Computing Exhibition and Conference. The Foreign Minister has asserted the importance of artificial intelligence for the opportunities it provides to promote the sustainable development efforts, improving the public service services, as well as to stimulate innovation in various fields. The Foreign Minister has expressed his aspirations that this conference is an opportunity to convey messages to the international community for importance of utilizing this technology to enhance international cooperation and spread principles of the transparency and justice. And in the meantime, Egypt welcomed signing Doha Framework Agreement of Peace between the government of the Democratic Republic of Congo and the M23 movement, regarding it as an essential step to intensify the security and stability in the eastern Congo. The Foreign Ministry hailed the constructive diplomatic role of the regional and international partners to remove the obstacles in the process, as well as the momentum has been provided by both peace agreements signed between Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo in Washington in June 2025, and Doha Declaration signed in July 2025, which led to the current agreement. The Foreign Ministry reiterated its appreciation for the participation of the regional and international partners, topping of which is the U.S. Egypt also stressed for the support for efforts amid promoting the security and stability in Congo, the Great Lakes region, in addition to its readiness to cooperate with various partners to enhance the opportunities of success for the agreement and the achievement of lasting peace. And in the meantime, Egypt has continued flogging aid to the Gaza Strip today through the secondary gate of the Rafah border crossing within the framework of the efforts to lift suffering of the Palestinians in the Strip. The convoy is being checked by the Israeli occupation forces before permitting it to enter Gaza through Karam Abu Salim, east-south of the Strip. The convoy carries tons of trucks with food, medical relief aid, as well as tons of fuel to meet the needs of the Palestinians. In the meantime, the members of the UN Human Rights Council adopted a resolution for an independent fact-finding mission to investigate reported mass killings in Al-Fashir, Sudan. The ambassador of the permanent mission of the United Kingdom in Geneva said that fact-finding mission would document and preserve the evidence of violations, which would lay the ground for the future justice and accountability. Separately, the UN High Commissioner for the Human Rights, Volker Turk, urged Washington to investigate the crimes at Al-Fashir, saying it's a crime against humanity. And the head of the Danish Refugee Council said that more than half of this Sudan's population is in need of the humanitarian aid that's fighting the ravages, the West African nation. The aid officials' comments came after a faith in the Libyan Crescent said that Sunday the least 4 people were killed when the 2 boats carrying 95 irregular migrants capsized off the Libyan coastal city of Al-Homs. The Red Crescent added that the first boat was carrying the 26 migrants from the Bangladesh, 4 of whom died. The second boat carried 69 migrants, including dozens of the Sudanese people. Earlier, the International Organization for Migration said that at least 42 migrants went missing and presumed dead after a rubber boat sank near Al-Bouri oil field, an offshore facility northwest of the Libyan coast. And now moving to the world of the business, where Egypt was closed higher on Sunday amid purchases by Arab investors against sell-offs by local and foreign investors. The market capital of listed companies gained of 34 billion Egyptian pounds, exceeding 2.9 trillion pounds of the end of the transactions. It reached 23 billion pounds. The benchmark EGX index jumped 2.60% above the 30,000 point mark. The equal weighted indices EGX 70 and EGX 100 climbed 0.41% and 0.67% respectively. And Ukraine, Greece signed a deal Sunday for the Kiev to import U.S.-supplied liquefied natural gas from the next month through the March 2026. As Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky visited Athens, Zelensky said that the deal between Greek national gas company DEPA, commercial, and Ukrainians Naftogaz is an essential contribution to regional security and energy resilience as Kiev seeks to meet its winter fuel needs while finding out the Russia's military operations. Before his arrival, Zelensky announced that Ukraine would import gas from Greece as the country's own energy infrastructure has been targeted by Russian strikes. And to the exciting world of sports, for Egypt football national team under coach Hossein Hassan continued preparations ahead of the clash against Cape Verde in the third and the fourth places decider in Al Ain International Friendly Tournament. The tournament is taking place in the United Arab Emirates as part of the national team's preparations ahead of the African Cup of Nations, which kicks off in Morocco in December. Egypt, with their spot in 2026 World Cup, already secured, suffered a 2-0 loss of Uzbekistan in the semi-final of the friendly tournament. And finally, with the Spain, were nearly booked the ticket to the 2026 World Cup with a 4-0 thrashing of Georgia on Saturday, with the Turkey delaying their celebrations by edging Bulgaria 2-0. Kosovo likewise prevented Switzerland from booking their spot in North America next week, beating Slovenia 2-0 to prolong the group of suspenses of another 3 days. And Switzerland 4-1 win over Sweden through means that only an unlikely thrashing in Kosovo on Tuesday could prevent them from progressing. The commanding victory left Spain with a 3-point lead over Turkey at the top of the Group E and vastly superior goal difference. And by this, we come to the end of our English news bulletin on Channel 2. Thank you for watching. This was Sahar Talawi.